proud of our team, proud of the way they executed. We only had 6 possessions. I think it's the least amount of possessions by an FBS football team. They played really hard. I'm proud of the way they represented Notre Dame. They were truly fighting Irish. Came up short.
Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. The Notre Dame defense held Navy 7 points and 76 yards below the midshipmen's usual offensive averages, while the Irish offense scored on 5 of its 6 possessions, but it was just not enough to prevent the midshipmen from clinching their 13th bowl bid in 14 seasons with a 1-point come-from-behind win. The Irish have now lost 6 games this season by 1 possession, but Coach Kelly told his team after the game he remains confident they will turn things around beginning this weekend.
We got Army, Virginia Tech at home for our last home game, and then we got to go to USC. If we keep this kind of dedication to getting better against Army, and then build on that against Virginia Tech and USC, we'll have a chance right at the end to win all 3 football games.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
Here is Kaiser taking a look. He gets time, throws to the end zone, receivers open. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
One of the keys to beating Navy is getting off to a quick start. You won the toss, took the ball, and that was a pretty good opening drive. And it included 4 completions to Torrey Hunter for 69 yards, including the touchdown.
Yeah, we worked hard on trying to get Torrey back inside. We started KJ Stefferson from Jacksonville on the outside. It gave, I think, Deshaun a comfort level where he could use some ball control throws to get, the chains moving. I think if there was anything that we did wrong, it was that we were too time-consuming ourselves in terms of, our possessions. And that's what Navy wants. They'd like you to take time to score as well. They don't want to give up any big plays. But it was a good drive to start off the game and get us on the board right away.
How do you evaluate the way your defense played?
We did some good things. I mean, we've got a lot of young players that saw option for the first time. So, there was some hesitancy and some tentativeness. But, I thought physically, they were up to the task. They played with, like I said, a great amount of pride and wanting to represent Notre Dame in a positive way.
Navy scores to start the half, but you answer again with a really nice drive. 2 big plays to Equinemius St. Brown where he got a lot of yardage after the catch.
Yeah, we'd asked him, we thought he needed to finish off some of his runs, and, we got down into the scoring zone and dropped the ball down. They were sinking a lot, getting underneath some of our vertical routes, and we needed this drop down to him. He caught it, made a guy miss, got upfield, got a great score for us.
Your defense forces Navy to punt. It gets reviewed, and unfortunately, it seems by rule it should not have been reviewed. I mean, this has to be you made it clear that you don't want to hang the game on this play.
Yeah.
But this play that shouldn't have been reviewed was a key play in the game.
Yeah, it was a key play. I think it's important that, when you talk about replay officials, they're not the same as the officiating crew. And so sometimes the interpretations don't come from the same governing body. It's a different conference, so they have different interpretations. And I think that's why we've got to get a nationalized replay and make it unified so everybody's on the same page. Because if everybody's on the same page, they don't review that play. And we get the ball back, and that's the next possession that we needed, because again, we only had 6. So very, very difficult for our kids. They've had a lot of things not go their way, and not to get that call in that situation was disappointing.
You get it back, you get into a 4th and 4 situation, you decide, we'll kick the field goal and hope we can get it back.
Yeah, I decided to, kick into the wind in the 3rd quarter so I could get the wind in the 4th quarter, because we were our kickers were kicking it from 55 plus with the wind. So I felt if we had the wind in the fourth quarter, we could kick some long field goals. So it just made sense. Have some confidence in your defense that we're going to come up with a stop and get some points on this drive. I didn't want to leave with no points. And if it was 4th and 1, maybe even 4th and 2, we were running the ball effectively. I felt like I would have run the football there for a first down. But 4th and 4 was just a little bit outside it where we probably would have had to thrown it. So we took the points on the board.
Your defense battled. They put Navy into 4 third-down situations and 2 fourth-down situations, but couldn't get that final stop.
We just needed one more bend back. We just needed one more good play. You know, we had them on a 3rd and 9. We had them on a 3rd and 7, and just couldn't come up with the stops. Give Navy credit. They played well in those situations as well. And then ultimately the 4th down and 6 where, you know, they go to Tillman, their big guy, and they make the big play to end the game.
What drives me is to see a football team come on the other end of things. And what I mean by that is that they're starting to believe truly what it takes to win. And you can't win until you trust in each other, and you trust in your coaching, and you trust in who you are as a football player.
21 first-year players, 14 true freshmen. Have you ever been in a situation in your college coaching career where you were this young?
No, this is the youngest team that we've had, and we didn't come out at the start of the year trying to spin control, and that's not what you do here at Notre Dame. You go out and you play the schedule that you have, and you go expect to live up to high standards. But we are where we are because we're living through some of the experiences of young players learning how to execute and win close football games. And I love the way that our guys are competing and battling, and it's going to prove to be very positive for them moving forward.
It's an expected question. You're getting it a lot now. Do you start thinking about next year? But you have a very interesting answer to that question.
Well, everything's next year. I mean, every play that we make, every experience that we have with so many inexperienced players is building for next year. So they know now what to do when they get that experience next year, and we make that play and we convert that situation. And I think that those are all things that are happening right now, living in the moment, but building for next year at the same time.
And that's something you've always done well. Not that you expected to be doing this again in year 7, but it's kind of a reset. This has become, in a sense, a short-term rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're doing essentially is getting your kids the experience that they didn't have. They weren't in those big games at Clemson. They weren't in those big games at Stanford. They didn't play in those games. They watched those games. Now they're being part of those games. And in 6 games that they lost, they all went down to the last possession. So they have experienced those things, and now it's a matter of learning from those and applying those when they get in those situations again, finding a way to win them.
21 first-year players have seen the field for Notre Dame this season, including 14 true freshmen, the most in the Brian Kelly era. The growing pains have been obvious. Closing out games has been difficult, but against Miami, the Irish broke through, coming from 7 points down with 2 scores in the final 6 minutes for their first come-from-behind win this season. This week's Irish Connection gives us an inside look at a very satisfying victory.
They're not taking it from us today. We're going to seize it today. You hear me? On defense, we will seize it today.
If something gets hard, let's bite down on our mouthpiece and play a little bit harder and get what we're after this afternoon. It's out there. Let's go get it.
A huge pride game for Notre Dame and for Miami.
It's about us finding our way and finding a victory today.
There's no score yet in this game. Opening drive. Here's Kaiser looking, firing, on target. First down. Not Dudley's inside the 5, down to the 10-yard line is Torrey Hunter.
Now the ball is inside the 5. And here we go.
Here's a pitch up the middle. Diving to the end zone, going in for a touchdown.
Very good call and execution by Torrey Hunter.
Jerron Jones hits Joe Yerby for a loss of 2 yards.
3rd and long.
Here's the snap. Kaya takes a look, throws an out pattern. Intercepted by Notre Dame.
Cole Luke is playing some good football.
That boy 3-6 ballin'. I was like, he's got a butcher.
The Irish take over, looking for more.
10-0 Notre Dame. Here is Kaiser firing towards the end zone.
Goes to the left, and is it complete? Yes! Touchdown, Notre Dame to Equanimous St. Brown.
RD!
Kaya been under pressure all day.
And he's got more pressure. Tillery's able to miss, and then finishing him off is Niles Morgan.
The Hurricanes with 3rd and 9. Huge play now for the Fighting Irish defense.
Kaya sets up. He's got his man. He's short of the first down, though, covered by Morgan. And that'll bring up 4th down and a punt. This is just a little pooch punt by Vogel trying to pin Notre Dame back in, and he lost the football, and it's in the end zone, and Miami's on it for a touchdown.
How are we going to respond? Let's go! Let's go!
3rd and short, 3rd and 2, and it's Josh Adams who gets loose at the line of scrimmage, and now has nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Game tie 27-all at Notre Dame Stadium.
Kaya's got all day. Throwing it down the sidelines. He threw it up for grabs.
Julian Love breaks it up.
Make sure you're loaded. You're getting too anxious again, right? Just get on that backside.
Third down and 3 for Notre Dame. Here is the big play. Kaiser's going to throw. He drops. Throws up the middle. He's got it. Into the end zone. The ball comes out. It's live. And who gets it? Notre Dame thinks they have it. The Irish do. Notre Dame will be lining up to make a field goal to break the tie. Here's the snap and set down. The kick is up. It's good. And Notre Dame takes the lead with 30 seconds to play. 13 seconds to play. Notre Dame by 3. Here's the snap. Here comes the rush. Kaya stands in. Big rush. There's a sack, and it's over. The Irish win the game.
First time in a while, it is a winning feeling in front of the Notre Dame students.
Cole Luke has started the last 35 games at quarterback for Notre Dame, making him the unquestioned veteran and leader of the young Irish secondary this season. It is a role he has embraced and one he is successfully fulfilling, both on the field and in the locker room.
Hogan going to the air again down the far sideline, and it's right into the arms at the 9-yard line. Cole Luke.
Cole Luke is, a player that's going to work his butt off each and every day. When the ball's in the air, he truly believes that it should be his and it's going to be his. The player that just loves to play with his teammates and truly believes that this story and this road that he's taken is true and it happened for a reason.
Surveys, goes to the far side, and Cole Luke has himself another interception.
My junior year, I was on track to be a backup to another cornerback, an older guy who ended up leaving days before the game. I got my shot to play, and I had a great season. After the season, everybody was just like, dude, you're about to get some offers. And I was like, wow, I actually have a chance to play college ball, which was so surreal. I started realizing that, a good education and, a life after football is something that's very important. That's pretty much when I came down to make a decision for Notre Dame.
And here come the Irish.
Being able to run out of this big tunnel for the first time in such a loud stadium with great fans, it was great. It was an unbelievable experience. I waited a long time for that. Being a sophomore, just being thrown into the fire, it was different. I just kind of took it and ran with it. I always told myself there's no time to wait. There's no time to, get that development year or whatever. You got to go out and make plays, and that's what I had to do.
Kick is blocked. It's rolling at the 30-yard line. Picked up by Notre Dame on the run. Is Cole Luke, gets to the end zone. Enormous two-pointer for Notre Dame.
It's weird being called the older guy, the leader of the secondary. I had to get accustomed to this, the leadership role every single day. Just make sure, you're taking care of the guys, communicating with them. And it took a little while to get used to because, you have to learn, who takes coaching, what way. I think I have a good grip of that now. It was just different because you're responsible for everybody in that group. You know what I mean? If somebody, you know, messes up an assignment, they're looking to you to go talk to this kid and, you know, help him understand what's going on. I think the biggest thing that I've learned that I try to express to the young guys, you know, this game is not forever. You know, it can be taken from you at any minute. I just want them to go out there every day in practice, every game, every meeting, every film session. Treat it like it's your last one, because you never know when this game's gonna be taken from you. Playing for Notre Dame, it's a great experience. Being able to run out of the tunnel for the 4 years I've been here is amazing. Our fan base is so large with so much respect for the players. You know, the alumni is so large. Our students to our professors, you know, they're all so supportive. And they've made my experience unbelievable.
Favorite all-time movie?
Avatar.
First car you ever drove?
Hummer.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Michael Jackson.
Favorite class?
Drawing.
Where is your favorite spot at Notre Dame?
Left on.
Thoughts on plans for a video board inside Notre Dame Stadium?
I love it.
Player on the team most like you?
Miles Boykin.
Get up early or sleep in?
Sleep in.
Best nickname on the team and who has it?
Troy Pride.
Which assistant coach is most like Coach Kelly?
Coach Denbrock.
Hardest hitter on the team?
Niles Morgan.
Best singer on the team?
Corey Romson.
Best dancer on the team?
Josh Adams.
Best comedian on the team?
Jay Hayes.
Best comedian on the coaching staff?
Coach Denbrock.
Best dresser on the team?
CJ Sanders.
Worst dresser on the team?
Me.
Player on the team most likely to become a football coach?
Gummy.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
The fans.
Equanimous St. Brown, you've completed the 60-second drill at Inside Notre Dame Football.
Thank you.
It's time now for the experts at TireRack.com question of the week for Coach Kelly. This week's question comes from Adam Rudis of Riverdale, New York. Coach, has the defensive culture or atmosphere changed under Greg Hudson?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you just need to look at how they're performing. I think they've cut their points per game virtually in half in terms of what we're giving up compared to what we're doing now. I think they're playing loose and free and playing with a great deal of enthusiasm. So I would say a double yes to the change has been very, very positive.
Next up for the Irish, the annual Shamrock Series game. This year, the series returns to San Antonio, where the first Shamrock Series game was played back in 2009. The Irish are also facing their first repeat opponent of the Shamrock Series, the Black Knights of Army West Point.
Yeah, it's a good football team. I think Coach Monken's done a really good job of bringing this football program back. You know, they battled, you know, Air Force, and they're going to battle Navy in a few weeks. They've got some good wins. They beat Wake Forest, who's a good football team in the ACC. So this will be a challenging football game for us.
That will do it for this week's show. We, of course, will be back next week with all the highlights of the Notre Dame Army game. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners, Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.